Hello everybody and welcome back. Big Blue here. We have a lot to cover, so I'm going to start going directly over it. So, the gun that I am using is the Lucky 7. As we all know, the Lucky 7 has multiple modifiers that can be applied to the gun to give you different effects. The main effects that I would use as moze would be splash damage, 7 shots, and critical shots. Yes, the auto fire one does work in the way that I have this build set up. I have a lot of ammo regen plus some terror for ammo regen. So those two things together will make it where you can use it and make it a straight bullet hose if you like. But the three best that you could get for one roll would be crit, splash, and 7 shots. You will kill any and everything in seconds. The reason that the critical is so good for moze is because I'm going to be using a minesweeper. As we all know, with that minesweeper, every time we hit a crit chance, we have a 25% chance to throw a grenade, a micro grenade if you will, and that just helps increase the damage tenfold. 7 shots, of course, because that's multiple chances to do that grenade damage and multiple chances to do more splash damage if you're rolling the splash damage one, like I was saying. In this video, you will see me use a lot of different variations of this gun, but it will all be this gun with this build. There will be no switching weapons, no nothing, only this gun, because this gun is that good with terror annoyance. If you didn't know, all of the annoyance or all of the modifiers that come on the Lucky 7 go from the first one being crit, the second one is auto fire, I believe. The third one is elemental damage. The fourth one would be that splash damage, and the fifth would be 7 shots at 1. And as you can see, all those things together just do some incredible damage. It makes it really easy for the takedown. This build can handle true takedown, true guardian takedown. It can handle any content in the game that you want it to do with no problem. It's a whole lot of fun to play, and it doesn't require much gear at all to actually make it viable. The main thing you're going to need is that terror annoyance, so you apply terror to yourself after you use your action skill. And I know in moze that's very weird, but once you apply it, it helps so much. As you see, my ammo still goes up now because I have points into forge to give me that ammo regeneration, but I also have ammo regeneration from terror. So with those two coupled together, when I do want to do the bullet hose mode, if you will, it hardly takes ammo. My magazine size is 19. The lowest I've seen it when I'm doing that is get to 15. Because I regen so much ammo so fast, it stops anything from depleting at 100%, to be honest with you. Alright, before we actually go over the build, what I did and how I did it, I'm going to show you guys Wotan really fast, just so you can see how that goes. As you can see, even with Wotan, it makes very quick work of his shields and does just as well with his armor. The reason that my damage is increasing there is because I am using a consecutive hits, Lucky 7, and I'm using a Pearl. So if I'm not getting all the damage I need from those crit hits, the splash damage, or the 7 extra projectiles that I get, I'll get it from that. I wanted to make sure this build had enough damage to where you kill things fast enough to where you're not too worried about survivability. But it actually has survivability in here. As long as you're moving, you will be alive. One quick thing, my analytics shows me that only 5% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you could, in the comments, leave me a comment telling me why you're not subscribing to me, so I can make my content better to make you all want to subscribe to me. That would help me so much. I do know that last build I did was one made by content creator called Daquan, but this build is 100% me. I didn't have any help with it. Like I said in that video, he helped me learn the Terra anoints and how everything works better by watching his video and watching a couple of other people's videos and exactly how they work, because I was not here last year for the Terra event, for the Bloody Harvest event, excuse me. So I had to learn it on the fly. So I watched some different videos so I could learn that. And this is the first original Big Blue build with the Terra anoints. I plan on bringing an Amara one here shortly. Maybe a couple different types of an Amara ones, to be honest with you. But that's it. That's the takedown. Easy peasy. After I kill him, we're going to go over the build, so be ready for that. And if you are enjoying this video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you do like it or you have comments for something I could change, leave it in the comments. And leave a like if you do like the video. Alright guys, let's go over the skill tree. I do have a lot of other weapons on here, but you won't actually use these Unforgivens or this Juliet's Dazzle. By the way, the Juliet Dazzle got a nice bonus, a nice buff. It's actually a pretty good gun now. Anyways, I'm using an Iron Willed Lucky 7 with the consecutive hits. Also going to be using a Pearl to get as much damage as I can from this. With modes, you don't have to stack ammo regeneration, but I feel like ammo regeneration was the best way for me to go. Also, with using a Minesweeper and the Lucky 7, and one of those modifiers is going to be crit damage. So every shot that you do will crit. That with the Minesweeper does a lot of damage, but if you can get the Skull, which is crit, Splash, which is the explosion, and 7, which is the last modifier, which means you shoot 7 bullets at once, you will melt everything. Granted, if you add the elemental one to it and get the right element, it makes it even stronger, but there's so many different combinations. And most of the footage that you see me using, I only was using the crit and the 7 shots. I didn't even get to use the splash. I used the splash earlier and it destroyed everything. Anyways, the transformer. I'm using a transformer with the ammo regen terrified, excuse me. Also using the action skill apply terror to myself. These are the only 2 pieces of terror gear I have in this build. Everything else is a normal modes build. Honestly, if you didn't want to do this, but I like getting the machine gun perk when I'm trying to get as much damage as possible. You could switch this to increase your damage or reflect damage for more survivability or whatever you want to do. But I really like it this way. You kill everything fast enough to where you don't have to worry too much about taking damage or anything like that. Alright, shield to retribution tree. Gun damage and damage reduction. It's as easy as that for armored infantry. Drowning in brass just for more gun damage. The fire rate actually helps me, but it's subtracting my fire rate when I do have that auto on there. Bottomless mags tree. This is how you're gonna sustain your ammo with the Lucky 7. Not Cloud of Lead. Cloud of Lead is just for incendiary damage. Same thing with Stoke the Embers. Redistribution is one of those ways, so if you have that crit on there, you will regenerate that ammo, so it's super nice. And you regenerate health, so it helps keep you alive. That's what kind of sustains you, if you will. 5 points in the Scrappy because I will be moving to do more damage. Scorching RPMs for more damage with that critical hit damage. And I have that Russian offense for while I am sprinting, I get life steal. Iron Bank for magazine size. I'm using some for the road just for right when I get out of Iron Bear, I can spam and be a straight bullet holes. It's really nice. And Forge. Forge may be a little overkill, to be honest with you. You don't necessarily need Forge. If you can get a class mod that has 2 into redistribution, then you should be fine. Last but not least, in Demolition Woman Tree, fire in the Skag Den for 7 points for that bonus incendiary damage. Means of destruction for that ammo chance and grenade chance. I'm using Torque Cross Promotion just for that splash damage radius and splash damage. Stainless Steel Bear for that extra 20% damage. Pulled the Holy Pen for that critical hit chance. Vampire for restoring my health, of course. Explosive Punctuation just for that cooldown for my Iron Bear. And as you see, my Iron Bear's cooldown is pretty short. Also short fuse. It's just extra damage added to everything you have here. So it makes it so much easier and so much nicer with this build. That is the whole build. I will show you my modifiers. They are nothing crazy. I guess that more than OK Boomer is a really nice one to make sure that you have when you're going to run this build. But everything else, is fair game. That is the build, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated to all my terror and non-terror builds that I'll be bringing out. Blue Crew, as always, stay medicated, stay elevated. To the next video, guys. Peace.